Van Helsing is a 2016 fantasy horror series. It was created by Neil LaBute and directed by David Winning. The plot for the series was inspired by a graphic novel series titled Helsing. Van Helsing is set in a post-apocalyptic world and follows the central character, Vanessa Van Helsing, as she awakens from a coma in the aftermath of a volcanic eruption. Yellowstone caldera had erupted and covered the world in ash, blocking the sunlight. This allows vampires to take over the world. Vanessa is one hope for humanity, as she has a specific blood type composition that equips her with the ability to revert vampires into humans. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Hunting the Night, the genesis of Van Helsing, 2016. In order to learn about the genesis of the 2016 Van Helsing TV series, we have to go all the way back to 1897. What we mean is we have to go back to Bram Stoker's Dracula. Fascinating origins, right? Well, Stoker's Dracula first introduced the world to Van Helsing in Abraham Van Helsing, a polymath and vampire hunter. From then on, several members of the Van Helsing family have graced the screens. In 2016, Sci-Fi introduced the world to Vanessa Van Helsing, a descendant of Abraham Van Helsing, to de-vampirize and turn vampires back into humans. Initially, the TV series had been linked with Zenescope Entertainment's graphic novel series, Helsing, and while certain ideas were inspired by the novel, the plot in itself is an original one. Neil LaBute, an award-winning playwright and screenwriter, was roped in as the TV series showrunner. What's also interesting is that the idea of a female Van Helsing originated from him, as he experimented with it while adapting Dracula for the stage many years ago. The TV series also saw many great actors cast in diverse roles. However, the casting of Kelly Overton in the leading role of Vanessa Van Helsing was nothing short of spectacular. She was drawn to the role given its demands and also filmed certain heavily demanding scenes, like the fight scenes, while being pregnant. The TV series was noted for its methodical editing and certain other effects, like the distinctive voices given to vampires and the intensity of their appearance. What makes this TV series special is its focus on human relationships. While the need to focus on human relationships was mainly driven by budgetary constraints, limiting the extent of supernatural elements showcased in the TV series, it worked for the best, as it helped strike the right balance between horror and drama. Over 5 seasons, the TV series gained a lot of love and recognition, winning a few awards and being nominated for several others. It also received positive reviews, with the Hollywood Reporter claiming it exceeded expectations. The TV series also had a great run with the viewers, even getting renewed for a 5th season, which was quite unexpected in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic. However, like all good things, it came to an end when the showrunners felt that it was the right time to bring it to a close. The TV series' final episode aired in 2021. Diving into the episodes of Van Helsing, 2016. Van Helsing gets off to an incinerating start, quite literally, as it's set in the aftermath of a volcanic eruption, Yellowstone caldera. The eruption left the world covered with ash, blocking off the sunlight. This event is referred to as the Rising. In the dystopian post-Rising world, vampires are ruling the streets. Amidst all this chaos is the protagonist, Vanessa Van Helsing, who's been in a coma for a long time. A bit of backstory on Vanessa is that she was quite poor, having to sell blood for a living. One day, a vampire steals the blood bank from a hospital, which also contains Vanessa's blood. As the vampire drinks the blood, it's Vanessa's blood that transforms the vampire back into a human. This scares the vampire leaders, Dimitri and Rebecca, who set out to eliminate Vanessa. During her daughter Dylan's birthday, Vanessa is attacked by one of Dimitri's followers, and her seemingly dead body is taken to the morgue. In the morgue, a medical examiner, Sarah Doc Carroll, notices something unusual about Vanessa and alerts the military. It prompts Axel, Ted, and other Marines to retrieve her body. Back in the present day, we see that after the volcanic eruption, Vanessa is being guarded by Axel in a hospital. Unfortunately, Doc has also been turned into a vampire, and Axel has to keep her locked up in order to stop her from attacking anyone. This relatively quiet hospital setting is disrupted when Ted arrives with a set of survivors, John, Mohammed, Sam, and others, who seek refuge there. However, the hospital soon turns chaotic as its UV lights are turned off, allowing vampires to breach its defenses. What follows is dreadful as vampires start biting their victims. Vanessa also wakes up to 3 vampires attacking her. However, something unusual happens to her. She wakes up with extraordinary strength, killing off 2 vampires, while the 3rd vampire, Flesh, who had bitten her, transforms back into a human. During this confrontation, Vanessa discovers her ability to heal very quickly. With the vampires chased off, Vanessa wishes to visit her daughter Dylan and wants to leave the hospital, but Axel stops her. Ted, meanwhile, seemingly comes to her rescue and helps her escape the hospital. After they escape the hospital, he betrays her and takes her captive. Moreover, Vanessa, being as strong as she is, attacks him and kills him. Meanwhile, Flesh returns to the hospital as a human. As the first 2 episodes establish Vanessa's present, past, and superpowers, it becomes evident that she's the only hope left for humanity in this world inhabited by vampires, as they attack them and turn them into vampires. The first season follows Vanessa as she discovers that Dylan has also been turned into a vampire. We also see that the survivors who try to fight against the vampires suffer setbacks in the form of vampire attacks and betrayals. It's also revealed that Vanessa's blood has the ability to create a new breed of vampires. However, as Vanessa comes to terms with what's happened to Dylan, she sets her mind to putting up a resistance against the vampires. The second season sees Vanessa reuniting with her sister Scarlet, who possesses the training to kill vampires. The season follows battles with the vampire factions led by Vanessa's original attacker, Dimitri, as well as the links to a powerful ancient vampire, Elder. As Vanessa and Scarlet face off against Dimitri, it leads to a confrontation with the First Elder. However, the First Elder is freed, and he swears fealty to the Van Helsings. The third season follows Vanessa and her allies as they seek the remaining Elders, who hold powerful totems. These totems can release the Dark One. As they confront the second and third Elders and take their totems, a seer tells them the fourth Elder is yet to be created. The fourth Elder turns out to be Sam, and Vanessa, along with Lily, her great-great-grandmother who reawakens in the present time, must confront him. As Vanessa and Lily just about escape Sam, the fourth season follows Sam and the Oracle, who use the totems to release the Dark One. The season also sees Vanessa united with her long-lost biological daughters, Jack and Violet. Meanwhile, Axel, who had developed a romantic relationship with Scarlet, has to come to terms with the grief of losing her, as she had sacrificed herself. Their shared grief brings Axel and Vanessa closer together in their resistance against the vampires. As he fights his fair share of battles alongside Flesh, Vanessa, Jack, and Violet confront Sam and the Oracle. The season ends with Countess Olivia von Dracula escaping the Dark Realm, disguising herself as President Archer, and taking the office of the President of the United States. Finally, we come to a stage where Vanessa has to face off against Countess Dracula, the Dark One, who's the ruler of the entire vampire species and also the de facto president of the United States at the moment. Season 5 begins with Countess Dracula's origins. It follows Vanessa as she opens the portal to the Dark Realm and discovers that in Transylvania, a count and his bride, Olivia, whose familial name is Dracula, have just had a child. Olivia, therefore, becomes the vessel for the Dark One, a malevolent entity that can engage in vampirism. In the series' final arc, we see that Axel and Violet have discovered the former US President, Davis Park, who's been caged by his son Aaron, as he also has turned into a feral vampire. Vanessa restores his humanity, and Davis decides to join the fight against the vampires. Meanwhile, Jack, along with Ivory, a vampire who is turned into a human by Vanessa, are smuggled into Washington, D.C. by a resistance force. Vanessa, disguised as Nina, also manages to infiltrate the White House, where Countess Dracula has been staying. While there, she wins the Countess's trust by making her believe that she has killed the Van Helsings. She also reveals the location of the resistance force, laying a trap for the Countess. However, Countess Dracula sends the Oracle and Bathory instead of Vanessa. Along with other vampires, Bathory plans to attack the resistance. But Vanessa thwarts this by telekinetically controlling the other vampires and manipulating them into assaulting Bathory, allowing Jack to bite her and turn her back into a human. However, Bathory is left unstable. Countess Dracula, now fully aware of Vanessa's deception, attacks her. Vanessa, in her defense, bites her. Vanessa's bite manages to weaken Countess Dracula, Dracula, but it fails to turn her fully back into a human. Nevertheless, Vanessa's bite allows Countess Dracula's human host, Olivia, to fight for control. During this chaos, Vanessa escapes and reunites with Axel and Violet. Axel also manages to rescue the Vice President of the United States, bringing him up to date with the threat that Countess Dracula poses. Meanwhile, Vanessa is able to restore Bathory's sanity, while Jack convinces her to defeat Countess Dracula using the ancient scrolls containing the spells that can be used against her. However, Countess Dracula regains control of Bathory, which makes her steal the amulet. Now, the amulet contains the Dark One's blood. The amulet was initially with Bathory and was passed down from one generation to the next. This indicates that Bathory might be a Van Helsing as well. However, the amulet comes to be in Jack's possession. Once Bathory, under Countess Dracula's control, steals the amulet, it restores her powers. This is when the series takes a dire turn, as it seems that Countess Dracula is in control once again. Bathory, seeing the damage her actions have done, becomes horrified and commits suicide. However, not all hope is lost, as the TV series' final episode begins with Vanessa revealing that she has been able to learn the knowledge of the ancient scrolls from Bathory's mind. While most of the resistance force stays back to protect President Davis Park and his family, Vanessa and her daughters, together with Axel and Ivory, go to the White House to confront Countess Dracula. Countess Dracula unleashes an energy so strong and terrible that it turns every human within the region into a vampire. However, it fails to turn the Van Helsings and other cured humans into vampires. As Axel and Ivory head back to protect President Davis Park and his family, the Van Helsings fight their way through the White House, setting the stage for a final face-off against Countess Dracula in the Oval Office. Countess Dracula overpowers them until Olivia, her human host, starts to fight back and take control of her body one last time. Vanessa takes this opportunity to paralyze Countess Dracula with the power of the ancient scrolls as Jack and Violet bite her and drain the Dark One out of her. While everything seems to indicate that good will triumph over evil, it comes to light that the amulet has been destroyed during the fighting. So it's up to Vanessa to sacrifice herself by trapping the Dark One in her own body, which puts her into a coma once again. As Vanessa's sacrifice restricts the Dark One, sunlight returns to the world, and all vampires transform back into humans once again. President Davis Park vows to rebuild the broken society, and Axel once again stands guard over Vanessa's body. While she lies there lifeless, in her mind, Vanessa is reunited with her beloved Dylan. Slayers and survivors. Meet the cast of Van Helsing. Van Helsing, the TV series, has seen a diverse cast of actors who are able to bring their unique strengths and make the TV series worthwhile. Each of the actors was able to shine in their respective roles, adding depth to the series and showcasing the struggles of humanity within a post-apocalyptic world. While we won't be able to go through all the characters in the show, we've picked some slayers and survivors, which we shall dive into. Vanessa Van Helsing. Vanessa Van Helsing is the protagonist of the Van Helsing series and is portrayed by Kelly Overton. In the post-Rising world, Vanessa emerges as the one last hope for humanity to prevail as the world is overwhelmed by vampires. Her unique blood composition has the ability to revert vampires to humans. The series begins with her waking up from a coma with immense strength that takes down the vampires attacking her. As she wishes to visit her daughter, she has to grapple with the fact that her daughter has been turned into a vampire as well. Throughout the series, we see her undergoing many challenges and coming to terms with her role as a savior. Her mission is to see humanity restored by taking back the world from the clutches of the vampires, especially the Dark One. Axel Miller. Axel Miller is the main male lead character of the TV series and is portrayed by Jonathan Scarfe. He is a former Marine who is tasked with guarding Vanessa's body while she's in a coma. From then on, he becomes one of her strongest allies in her resistance against the vampires overtaking the post-Rising world. Axel's character is defined by his loyalty to Vanessa and the romance he develops with her sister Scarlet. During his journey, Axel undergoes several challenges, even being turned into a vampire at one point while saving others. However, with Vanessa's powers, he's transformed back into his human self and once again aids the resistance against the vampires. His character comes full circle as he's back guarding Vanessa's body once again when she sacrifices herself in the end to trap the Dark One in her body. For his portrayal of Axel, Jonathan Scarfe won the Leo Award for Best Lead Performance by a Male in a Dramatic Series. Countess Olivia Dracula. Portrayed by Tricia Helfer, Countess Dracula is the main antagonist of the Van Helsing series. Countess Olivia, wife of a local Count of Transylvania, serves as the host body for the Dark One, a malevolent spirit who's the head of all vampire kind. She emerges from the Dark Realm and immediately exerts her dominance over vampires and humans. Countess Dracula can use dark magic, telekinesis, and manipulation to exert control and spread darkness all over the world. She disguises herself as President Archer when she takes office and exerts her control over the US by using martial law. Her efforts to gain supremacy, however, are always thwarted by the Van Helsings, and she has to battle them. Despite her immense powers, the Van Helsings are able to trigger a struggle for control within her host body, something that ultimately leads to her downfall. Bathory the Oracle. Bathory the Oracle, portrayed by Jesse Stanley, is a former vampire hunter who becomes a servant to Dracula. Bathory possesses a wide range of powers, like dark magic, superhuman speed, telekinesis, and the ability to create elders. Her loyalty to Countess Dracula earns her a significant position in Countess Dracula's team, commanding respect and fear. Her character undergoes significant challenges throughout the series, and finally, after she's turned into a human, Countess Dracula, on the verge of losing it all, controls her mind and uses her to become powerful once again. Saddened by what has happened, Bathory commits suicide. Jack and Violet. Portrayed by Nicole Munoz and Kia King, respectively, Jack and Violet are Vanessa's biological daughters and are the product of genetic experiments to take down the Dark One. Jack and Violet possess powers and abilities which include reverting vampires to their human forms. Throughout the series, they undergo different trials. For instance, Jack is transported back to medieval Transylvania, where she has to prevent the rise of Dracula, and Violet has to battle formidable enemies along the way. Regardless of what life throws at them, Jack and Violet remain strong and determined in their fight against evil.
Let's dance.
Worth the hunt? A review of Van Helsing. Van Helsing, as a TV series, managed to leave its mark on the vampire genre. The TV series expertly blends elements of horror and drama as Vanessa Van Helsing embraces her powers of turning vampires back into humans as she and her allies have to face off against the immensely powerful vampires. The TV series opens with an engaging premise, introducing the viewers to a world darkened by ash and the lack of sunlight. The mystery deepens as it delves into Vanessa's past, linking her with the legendary family associated with vampire hunting, the Van Helsings. All of the characters in the TV series are strong and diverse, adding depth to the TV series. Coming to the actors behind these strong characters, while each of them brings their unique strength and appeal to the TV series, Jonathan Scarfe and Rakaya Bernard have been singled out for their performance of Axel Miller and Sarah Carroll, respectively. Vampire stories are nothing new to TV. However, it's the showrunner Neil LaBute's impact on the TV series that makes it uniquely appealing and exciting. Managing to subvert expectations with its portrayal of gender dynamics and character development, he delivers something novel and outstanding. The TV series has also been praised for its direction, production, methodical editing, and effects, all of which add to its intensity. However, Van Helsing is not beyond critique. It has been criticized for being unevenly paced and repetitive at times. Now, this may be something of a turnoff for some viewers. Currently, Van Helsing holds an average IMDb rating of 6.2 out of 10, based on user reviews. Viewers have given it mixed reviews. While some found it outstanding, others were disappointed with several aspects of the show. On the one hand, viewers praised it for its compelling storyline, intriguing premise, character development, atmospheric direction, and gory effects. But on the other hand, viewers also critiqued it for its inconsistencies, decline in quality after the first 2 seasons, and the lower likability levels of specific characters in the show, especially Vanessa. So what we can say is that whether or not Van Helsing is worth your time depends on your preference for the show's premise and development, and also your tolerance for some of its flaws. Marvelous verdict. Van Helsing is genuinely a unique TV series and a great addition to the vampire genre. It serves as a different take on the classic by reinventing the Van Helsing legacy and introducing a female descendant in Vanessa Van Helsing, whose unique power of transforming vampires back into humans makes her a different kind of hero. Neil LaBute must also be praised for his unique vision and approach to the TV series. The ability of the series to not lose focus of human relationships amidst the unfolding supernatural catastrophe becomes one of its greatest strengths, along with the engaging performances of the cast. Overall, Van Helsing is a standout series for those of you who enjoy horror with a dash of drama. So if you're a fan of the vampire genre and want something a little different from a vampire story, this is one that you might not want to miss out on. But as always, we want to hear from you about how you felt about Van Helsing. Did you watch it, or do you want to give it a shot? Please let us know in the comments below. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.